Welcome to my channel. My name is Precious and this is my February wrap-up. And in the month of February I had a really good reading month. I read a total of 9 books. That's 6 physical books, 2 audiobooks and 1 graphic novel that I was able to get from NetGalley. Okay, so the first book that I read this month was Can I Come Over by Whitney G. We follow Dane and Christina. Christina is an author who writes money novellas and she has been having a bit of a tough time recently, and she's been having difficulty coming up with stories that are hot and her usual brand. So she starts a dialogue with a guy on the internet, just talking, totally platonic. Actually, when they first start talking, it was really hot. You felt the tension, but they were like, nah, this is platonic, nobody wants to sleep with anybody, nobody wants to meet anybody, but this is how it's going to be. And they continue talking, and one day Christina asks her pen pal, online pen pal, for a little bit of advice in writing, a book. She's been struggling, and he's noticed that she hasn't released any books as of late, these really short novellas, and he's like, what's going on? And she finally confesses that she's having a bit of a writer's block, and he offers to assist her. And then when he assists her writing these hot scenes, they start to question whether maybe they should meet. They decide to meet, and when they meet, Christina recognizes him to be her dad's best friend, and he doesn't know it's her. They meet at the airport. It was awkward. She runs away, but later he finds out that she is the online friend, and he's kind of like, this is my best friend's daughter. I don't know, he's questioning whether he should follow up and see where this goes. Besides the romance was hot, the romance was spectacular. Whitney G, again, taking tropes that we know and love and just making them hotter. She knows how to write a good sex scene, and the smut was really good. I enjoyed this so much. Whitney G for the win. The next book that I read was Footport by Charlene Mamtari. Here we follow Brian and Ishona, and then we have one of those weird, this will only happen in a book type of situation. So Ishona responds to an ad looking for a bride. She needs the money, she's hard up, she's working a lot of jobs to support her family, her mom, and her live comfortably. And she, just whatever. She's ready for anything as long as there is a paycheck. And she goes to this interview, she bombs the interview. She meets the groom, who is Brian, and he totally acts like a fool. And she's like, forget this interview, forget this entire thing, I'm leaving, I'm done. But fate intervenes and they meet again, and the story progresses from there. I will say there's a trigger warning here for domestic abuse. It's not on page, but it's the reason why Ishona is so really against getting into a relationship because of her previous history with her father and the way he treated her mother. But this was really good. I was surprised. I was really happy with the fact and very excited with the fact that I found a South African author who does contemporary romance, new adult, and I can't wait to read more by Charlene. The next book that I picked up was My Best Friend's Sister by QB Tyler. This was really, again, another novella. I read a lot of novellas this month because I was working quite a lot, but I wanted to read. And this is a brother's best friend's sister romance. So we meet Jason, who has been hard at work building up his empire and his name within his field of work, and he's been really focused, and in his focus he's sort of let things slide. He hasn't been there for his friends, he hasn't been there for his friend's sister who has moved to the city where his business is, because he's really been, you know, very busy, and she's in college. She assumes, you know, she has her own life, blah 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 blah. One day she gets stuck in a shady part of town, so he has to rescue her, and he's surprised by her appearance, and you know, things happen, and she has a crush on a guy in her class, and she's like, you know what, I don't have a lot of experience with guys and I need assistance, which he vehemently denies her. You know, he's just like, no, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna whatever, this is nothing to do with me, you need to, you know, get your lady pants on and deal with this on your own. But he starts to have an attraction to her. Whether it is always there is debatable and to be seen, but their romance starts from there. This is really cute. Jason kind of annoyed me a little bit, because you know they're gonna get together, but he was always so against it, like, no, I don't really wanna, but you know what I'm saying? So that was a little bit off-putting, but other than that, it was really a nice one. The brother's reaction was pretty natural and organic. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I knew you guys would be together forever, but the dad did that shit. It was kind of weird to me. The next one that I got with Ruby Dixon's When She's Bold. This was refreshing. This was like out of left field. I was just trying my hand at alien romance because I haven't really read a lot of alien romance. This was like my first foray, and I didn't want to get into her alien barbarian series, because everybody's like talked about that, and I felt like I'm just gonna be disappointed again, not trying to get in with everything that's hyped, but now I do want to read it. And here we follow Lucy and Rector. Lucy has had a crush on Rector forever, and she's tried everything. She's tried pastry, she's tried shoving her cleavage in his face, and he's just like, nah. But on Rex's part, which I love that we saw his POV, he's assuming that humans are afraid of aliens because of the history that they have, you know, going onto the planet and abducting people. So he just assumes that, you know, she's probably traumatized by his kind and species, and that is not the case. That is not the case. She is totally into him. She wants somebody to look after, and somebody to have a relationship with, and somebody to have children with, because she's feeling a bit lonely. She has this big farm by herself that she looks after, but she just wants some companionship. And Rector, because he's such a cinnamon roll, and he's so sweet and he's so kind, she has this immediate attraction to him, but he just doesn't get it. So she formulates a plan to get him to spend a little bit more time with him. It was hilarious. I loved this. We got a good epilogue at the end of it. It was so good. It was so good. I was actually so surprised by this, but this was another curvy, pining, I'd say it was a bit of a curvy romance with the curvy female character, and as well as Rector, he wasn't like a six-pack, you know, shredded, you know. He was a little bit, he was big, but yeah, but like a normal guy. And then after that, I listened to the Emma and the Ashes by Saboteur. Wow, I never thought that I would actually read this. I just wanted to give it a try, and I was pleasantly surprised. But the sad thing is, I don't know if I'm going to continue this series, because the things that this author puts her characters through is just so damn heartbreaking. So we meet Elias, who he has been training all his life to be a weapon, and we meet him when he's having an existential crisis about, does he want to bring misery into other people's lives? Does he want to be a weapon? Does he want to hurt people? Does he want to permanently change people's lives forever? And he's like, no. And he's planning to leave. What is this place called? It's a castle called Black Castle or something. Anyway, Castle Black, Game of Thrones. Yay. No, but it's not called that. And he's planning to leave, but he's waiting for the trial so he can escape quietly. And then we meet Laya as well. Laya's world has been turned upside down when her brother is kidnapped, and she has to try to sort of align herself with the resistance and try to find her brother, because they have the means. She assumes they have the means to help her find her brother, and they ask her to do them a favor because before they can help her, which is always sketch to begin with. And she goes into this castle black, and she works under the most horrible person ever, and is put through just humiliating, soul-breaking torture, emotional abuse, and she does this all in hopes that this organization will help her break her brother out. Things sort of fall apart from there. These characters are put through the ringer. I really loved this book. I listened to it on audiobook, but I flew through it because it was just so soul crushing. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna pick up anything else but I want to know what happens. Do they get a happy ending? But I feel like no, they won't get a happy ending. This is not something that, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. The next book that I listened to on audio was Binti by Nnedi Okorafor. Wow. Refreshing, fast-paced, unconventional, creative. Wow. We follow a young girl who is leaving her tribe to go to university. She has a love for mathematics, and she wants to better herself and see that if she can find, to better her understanding and to improve her knowledge of mathematics. And she goes against her tribe, against her family. She goes to this university. While she's traveling there, these freedom fighters, or these people, take over the transport, and she has to assist them. This was amazing. It was exceptional, and I want to read more by Nnedi Okorafor. If you're interested, the audiobook was really nice. I love the accents, and yeah, it sounded very authentic. And He's Human Assisted by Michelle Mills. We follow Hannibal Halstone, and I forgot the female character's name. I forgot the female character's, the heroine. Okay, so the heroine is an investigator. She investigates corporations for insider trading, for just suspicious and criminal activities that they may be up to. And she finds out a lot about one of the biggest companies in New Earth. But she suspects that they're onto her, so she tries to leave the planet as soon as possible. She joins an employment agency to try to leave the planet. She's like, I don't care where, I don't care what I'm gonna be doing. I've got qualifications, I'm smart, get me off this planet. She goes to the planet of Tavos immediately, and she starts working for Hannibal Halstone, who got her on discount. Like, he's a dude who loves discounts. Anyway, when I heard them talking about Hannibal, the person or the creature or the being that I had an image was the devil from the Pick Up Destiny by Tenacious D. You know that song? Oh my god, that's who I saw, and low-key, he's hot. I get it. I really loved it. It was a bit slow in places, even though it's a novella. It was weird, it was wacky, but it was also fun, and I loved it, and I loved all the characters. And yeah, there was a bit of, you need to stay near to me because you're my mate, even though I'm never gonna bond with anybody, but you're the one for me. That kind of insta love nonsense happened, but I was okay with it. Because it was fun. It was really fun. And the next one was Made for the Alien Prince by Roxy Roy. This was really good. I was surprised by this because I sort of got I felt okay about His Human Assistant, but this one was really good. We meet Brittany and Neil. Neil is a prince, so this is like a royalty romance as well. Enemies to lovers. And Brittany is a maid, barely scraping by, barely keeping her head above water, lives in a a two-bedroom, not even a two-bedroom, a single bedroom, single apartment room place, and she's really struggling. And she has resisted going off planet because she's heard all these negative things about what happens to you, you know, out of the planet. So, but she finds a recruiter who's like, listen, just try it. The money's good. This is what we're offering. And there are parameters for you to ask for places that you'd like to bid for. And she tries to bid for female-only planets where she can work as a maid. Enter Prince Nail. Prince Nail, minding his own business. He works for this employment agency, alien employment agency, Intergalactic Employment Bureau, I think. And on his way to a meeting, he locks eyes with Brittany. His heart starts pounding. He's drawn to her. He needs to keep her near. And he purchases her contract and tries to take her and takes her to his home planet. She is not having it, but she can't fight it because she signed the contract. So she goes with him reluctantly, really pulling her face, really eye rolling, and he's like taken aback because he's a prince. He's used to being treated in a certain way, and she's just like, nah, I'm not playing. I'm not playing. This was really nice. I felt like their relationship grew organically, even though they had that fated pull mate thing going on. Because, you know, Nail could separate himself from his urge to be near her and be like, you know what, I don't really like her attitude. Why am I so attracted to her? So you could say there's a little bit of enemies to lovers, and she did not like him at all because she had no intention of going to his planet, and she didn't want to go to a planet where there's males. So she was already pissed out of her mind. So this was fun. This was romantic. This was sweet. We had a meddling mom. Nail's mom was like, I see sparks, and she just inserted herself in trying to get them together, and I loved it. I love it when there's like a fun wing woman or wing man just so eagerly trying to get them together. I love that. And the final book that I read was Villainous by Stoney Williams. And this is a graphic novel that I got on NetGalley. Thank you for the e-arc. And this follows a girl named Tilly. Tilly is the #1 top ranking student in her school. She wants to be a hero, protect people from evil bad guys. So she starts her first day. She's put with this guy called Showdown, who's one of the best heroes in the organization. But she soon learns that, yeah, being a sidekick is more like being a PA, and she has to do all this other stuff instead of fighting villains. But she's okay with it until she finds out that the organization that she's working with works for nefarious forces and is up to no good. And when she finds this out, she questions the leaders. Girl, just run away. She questions the leaders. They then blacklist her and turn her into a villain, and she sort of regroups with the villains because she realizes that the villains are not actually the villains. And the story goes from there. There's people lost, there's connections and relationships built, and this is really fun. This was a fun, I'd say that it's for younger audiences because there wasn't a lot of violence and the story was pretty simple to get through. But this was a good one, and I would recommend it to more young readers because avid like manga fans like myself or comic book readers will find this very young. Very young. It's similar to My Hero Academia. It's similar to The Boys TV show. But yeah, Tilly was cool. Liked her, and she was always chilling and eating. And yeah, that is my wrap up for February. Thank you for watching. And if you have any recommendations for some office romances, please put them down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.